You know those movie twists you just never see coming? Well, what if the biggest one of all was hiding right there in front of you the entire time? Today, we're going to tear down the incredible deception in The Usual Suspects and show you exactly how one of cinema's greatest tricks was pulled off in plain sight.
I mean, you've probably heard this line before, right? It's famous for a reason. But here's the thing. It's not just a cool quote. It's literally the blueprint for the entire movie. It's about a lie so perfect, so complete, that it fools absolutely everyone, including us.
Okay, so how do you actually do that? How do you build a story so convincing that it can hide a full-blown massacre? To figure that out, we have to start where the film starts, with the story we were told.
All right, Section 1, the crime and the storyteller. Before we can even begin to spot the lie, we have to understand the official version of events, the very convincing story that was built to hide the truth.
So our narrator for this whole thing, our guide, is this one guy, Roger Verbal Kint. And he's presented as the weakest link imaginable, right? Small, scared, has a physical disability. He's the guy you'd never suspect. He's the only one left to talk after a bloodbath, and he's weaving this incredible story for a very determined customs agent, Dave Cugin.
And here's the tale he spins. It all kicks off with a totally routine police lineup, which throws 5 career criminals together. From there, they get tangled up with this mysterious lawyer, Kobayashi, who works for an even more mysterious, almost mythical crime boss, Söze. And their final job? To hit a ship. But it all goes wrong, ending in a massive explosion and a whole lot of dead people. That's the story, at least according to Verbal.
Okay, now here is where we need to make a huge mental shift. Verbal's story isn't just a retelling of a crime. The story is the crime scene. And to investigate it properly, well, we're going to need a special set of tools.
You see, this is the big switcheroo the movie pulls on all of us. The whole time we're asking, who is Kaiser Söze? But that's the wrong question. The real question, the one we should have been asking, is how is Verbal Kint making this story up right here, right now? The real mystery isn't on the boat, it's in the interrogation room.
So let's open up our detective's toolkit. To see through this whole illusion, we're going to focus on 3 key clues. First up, we're going to learn how to spot the dangling detail, those little random bits that turn out to be anything but. Then, we're going to watch for physical tells. And finally, we have to get ready for the final reversal, the moment that changes absolutely everything.
So let's put these tools to work, and I promise you, you're going to be amazed when you see that every single piece of this giant puzzle was just laid out for us, if we'd only known where to look.
Okay, so our first tool, the dangling detail. What is that? Well, think of it like a background detail in a painting that you barely notice. Something that seems totally random until you realize it's actually the load-bearing wall holding up the entire lie.
Okay, check this out. Exhibit A. Verbal tells this story about a scary, powerful lawyer named Kobayashi. Sounds like a real person, right? A specific name? But where did he get it? Well, as Agent Cugin realizes way too late, it was printed on the bottom of the coffee mug sitting on his own desk the whole time.
And the pattern just keeps going. He starts talking about some fence, a guy they know from Skokie, Illinois. Again, sounds random, sounds real. Nope, it's a name he literally pulled off a piece of paper tacked to the bulletin board right behind the detective. He's building the story from the props in the room. And another one. He invents this whole character named Redfoot, but it turns out it's not invented at all. It's a brand name Cugin sees later on a piece of office equipment. Are you getting it? The entire cast, the locations, the whole fabric of his story, it's all being improvised, in real time, from the junk in this office. It's incredible.
Now for Agent Cugin, this realization doesn't just trickle in. Oh no, it hits him like a tidal wave all at once, just moments after Verbal has been released and walked right out the door. And in an instant, the whole story just completely falls apart.
Suddenly, his eyes are scanning the room, and it's not an office anymore. It's a script. He glances down, sees the shattered coffee mug, Kobayashi.
His gaze darts over to the messy bulletin board, Skokie, Illinois.
He glances at the facts. Redfoot. Every detail, every name, every single location. It was all a lie, and the source material was right here in this room. And let's not forget what's behind this incredible performance. This isn't just some clever storytelling. The stakes are real. 27 people are dead on that ship. This wasn't just a story. It was a cover for mass murder.
You know that feeling we just described? That sudden, overwhelming rush where all the pieces just slam into place? Well, there's actually a name for that technique.
It's called narrative compression. It's so unbelievably effective because it saves up all these connections and then unleashes them at once, forcing you to reevaluate everything you thought you knew in a split second.
So we've seen how the story was built from nothing but lies and office supplies. Now, it's time to use that final tool in our kit to uncover the jaw-dropping truth about the storyteller himself.
And here it is, the final reversal. Remember those physical tells we talked about? All those signs of weakness from verbal, the limp, the hand that didn't work right? It was all an act. The second he walks out of that station, the limp just vanishes. The crippled hand effortlessly sparks a lighter. The weak, submissive verbal Kint literally straightens up, and in his place stands the powerful, confident Kaiser Söze.
And that, right there, was the real trick. The greatest one of all. It wasn't just a lie, it was a masterpiece of improvisation. He didn't invent a fantasy world. He built his fictional world using the real one, turning the very room that was supposed to expose him into the raw material for his escape. Just brilliant.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. We usually think of criminals as people who do things. They rob banks, they commit crimes, but this movie asks a different question. If the narrative itself is the ultimate weapon, if the story is the crime, what does that make the storyteller? A liar? A genius? Or maybe the devil himself?